Kick off with this WhatsApp voice note from Keith.
You're asking, is it an open border problem? Yes, it's an open border problem. You're importing these people in that have came from a lifestyle of that. They've grown up with it. They've been, I know Ireland has its own knife crimes, but, you know, they were far apart. There was a distance between things like that happening in timeline, what I mean. Whereas now we're hearing about this nearly on a daily. So how could you say that this is not coming in with the migration? How could you say like that these people who jumped from the likes of France and England into Ireland are bringing that gang culture with them? This is what I was saying all along before, that when you have open borders, nothing good comes in the door. That chap who unalived that man there could easily bounce out of the country, come back in through fucking Northern Ireland and claim that he's somebody else and he'd be okay. That's how stupid the system has gone in this country. How have we gone from justice to injustice? Right, the guards can't keep up with what's happening. So local lads are taking on themselves like to walk the streets and putting their own lives in danger for the safety of other people. So anybody that's coming up here saying that we have our own shit, yeah, we do. We have our own scum to deal with. We don't need the world's problems.
We're on Opinions Matter. How are you, Jonathan?
Hey, doing good, man. How are you today? I'm Bobblehead. How are you getting on?
Not a bother, thanks. Well, Jonathan, what is your reaction to what we saw on Saturday, and what do you think is to blame here?
Yeah, look, it's hand in hand at this stage, isn't it? Immigration, stabbings. They're telling us now that if you're in your own home in this country and someone knocks at your door and stabs you, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what our political representatives are saying now. It's a joke. It's highlighting the lack of guards. Well, you seen all the guards there Saturday morning cleaning up the mess. Like, you see them all there on hand when the protests and all that. But they won't walk the streets when they should be at the most dangerous hours of the day and night in that city. And it's not just that city; it's happening all across the place. They're important.
Like I said, I'm genuinely shocked that there was not a guard to be seen with all of that screaming.
Why are you shocked, Adrian? Why are you shocked at this stage? Why are you still shocked at this stage?
Because I thought we were making progress in terms in terms of our police force. I thought we were making progress with our police force.
Look, I said before, when politicians' lips are moving, they're telling you lies. That's all they do. They're setting up subcommittees now for committees to investigate these things. More wasted money, more money being spent on talking heads. This one, why do you think there's vigilante groups on the streets of Drogheda now and in Dublin? There's going to be more and more of them. Vigilante groups on the streets of their cities and their towns in this country going forward. That's what I can see. It's the only way forward. Now, Jeremy's gone on about that lad never caused a problem with the iPass centre, and he didn't cause a problem on Saturday night. He got stabbed.
Yeah. No, I wasn't specifically saying about him. I was saying about all the people in the iPass centre.
But what important this problem, why do you think knife crime has gone up in 10 years in this body? 56%. And that's seizures. That's what they're catching. That wasn't we didn't have that problem 20 years ago in this country, and don't tell me we did. As Keith said before, we didn't have a knife problem. Scumbags. With none of the ways that we have now, right? Are you going to really try to say that stabbings on a daily basis now, nearly twice a fucking day in this country, is going to that was always happening here? Are you really going to sell that line to me? I grew up in some of the worst parts.
Can I just tell you? Hang on for a second, Jonathan. Back in 2006, we had a weapons amnesty here in Ireland. We had that much of an issue with weapons that we had an amnesty where
weapons are we talking about?
Firearms, knives, and other weapons were surrendered to Garda stations.
Okay, that's all. I thought about knives, specifically knives. 58% knives, Aidan, not weapons, knives. That's what they said. 56% increase in the last 10 years of knives. We're importing this cultural problem into this country. That's what it is, and I won't be told different on it. It's these people, it's a cultural problem. They're bringing it into this country. You can't keep on denying, and you can keep on trying to justify it, but can you really?
So what do you say?
It's the lack of services. Like I said, there's no guards. The guards that are out there are all 4 foot bleeding tall. loads of girls. And again, like I said to you before, there's no problem with girls in the garden. You can't send out 2 4-foot-nothing guards into that city at night time and expect them to keep the peace.
Okay, so you believe that what we witnessed in the early hours of Saturday morning in Dublin is all down to immigrants coming into this country and not being vetted properly or whatever?
Let me be clear. Let me be very, very clear on this. It's a government problem. They are the ones in charge of who comes in and out of this country. The government are. So the lads on the street stabbing each other, they're taking advantage of a broken or non-existent immigration system in this country and coming in, and we're facilitating. They won't stop them. They keep letting them in. So it's a government issue.
Okay, stay with
the other guards who are in attendance are just laughing. They're laughing because your man can't even wrestle a lad to the ground. And these are the people that we're putting in charge of our safety. The guards need to revisit their training, everything, because the world isn't like it used to be. It's a lot more dangerous now, and it is partly to open borders.
I was about to say that. What we saw, that scene the other night was disgraceful, but we've seen scenes like this involving Irish people as well.
We've seen it from Irish people as well, but the problem is, right, we're given an avenue now to attack. If something happens with knife, it's the refugees, it's all of this. Now listen, it might be Irish, we don't know that, but we're given that avenue to attack, and that's all down to the open borders and not doing security checks on people coming in. Lads, we know that a lot of these refugees coming in, they've come to this country with their documents, but when they arrive here, they come with no documents. How can that happen? They're ripping it up and throwing it away because they've done something wrong where they've came from, and they're going to be known. It's all over the world. Like, look to other countries, for example. We are now going down the line like the rest of them.
And that, do you believe that based on that one incident the other night?
Not one incident, but what have we had? Now, like, listen, we know there's Irish people out there doing it. You don't hear much about the Irish people doing it because it's Irish. I don't know why. The media doesn't seem to show a lot of the Irish people doing it. They want to jump on the refugees doing it. But what have we had in the last while? So we've had that incident the other night. We had the Stony Batter one as well. That was a foreign national as well, wasn't it?
Correct.
We had the guy outside the school at the kids, another foreign national. Now, he was Irish, living here for a long time, but again, he was a foreign national, came into this country, And then when all these people come in, look, lads, I had a knife pulled on me in town last year. I was out for a stag in town last year, and a foreign lad pulled a knife on me, and only because my mates were close. Your man hadn't got a chance of doing anything. But if he could have easily robbed me, I was not going to do anything to him with a knife put in my face. I was happy. Listen here, take my wallet, take my phone. Do you know what I mean? But that's what we're left with. If you walk into Dublin on a weekend at 3 o'clock in the morning, you see it everywhere. They're on the street corners. There's gangs of them, 10, 15, 20 of them. Now, guaranteed there's Irish there as well. But these lads, you're looking at them, they're there to cause trouble.
I know you gave a list of examples of cases in Ireland involving foreign nationals. The reason you're so familiar with those cases is because they're the cases that get the extra publicity from people wanting to highlight all of our problems in Ireland are being caused by foreigners.
The likes of it. Ross, and I don't even like naming this person because I can't stand him, but the likes of that Derek Bly fella, he was almost, if you saw some of his videos, I don't follow him on social media, but someone sent me his videos actually.
I don't either now.
He was almost jumping up and down with glee. He was delighted that this incident happened on, and then he said something else, and I'll get the exact quote of it. He said something to the effect that I don't feel as sorry when the people who are killed are not Irish people, when it's foreign nationals. Like, what a disgusting thing to say. And that's what annoys me. I know a lot of you got really annoyed because you don't believe that there's far right in Ireland, and you don't believe the term far right. There are far right people in Ireland. Derek Bly is a
far right everywhere.
Yeah,
and brandish everyone far right just for the concern.
I certainly wouldn't do that. If you were to ask me for 3 names of people who you think are far right, I'd say Derek Bly is one. I'd say your other man, the dog kicker. What's his name? That got the sentence the other day. That fool with the selfie stick. What's his name?
The citizen journalist.
Yeah. If he's a citizen journalist, I'm a citizen astronaut. Like, ridiculous. Whatever his name is. Jem O'Doherty will be another far right lunatic as well. Yeah. So we do have far right lunatics in this country, and my only problem is they seem to revel when they hear stories like this.
that-
So they check the story and they hear stabbing in the city centre and they go, okay, what's this fella called Paddy O'Brien? No, what? Okay, let's go.
That's exactly the point that I was trying to make a couple of minutes ago. And Darren is after picking me up wrong here. He said, did Adrian just say that extra publicity for kids getting stabbed? No. What I said was...
I did say that as well.
What I said was, any case involving a foreigner gets extra publicity,
On
gets
social
extra
media.
on social media.
And
yes.
in fact, it's been proven that since Musk took over X, it's been proven, and I've seen reports on this, that the likes of far right stuff will get a lot more pushes, traction.
Yeah.
So if I put up a tweet now saying foreign nationals are great for Ireland and immigration is the best thing that ever happened, it will get no retweets. But if I put up a tweet saying close the borders now, they're stabbing each other, they're behaving like animals on our streets, that will get thousands of retweets. So far right, well, that's what Adrian was saying, things pushed by the far right get a lot more traction.
Yes, and if there was if that incident on the streets of Dublin the other night had involved a load of Canada Goose youths in the city centre, it wouldn't have gotten the coverage that it did get. It just wouldn't.
No, it would have. It happened in the city centre. It happened after a nightclub. It would have.
I think it's getting extra traction because it happened to be...
It's getting extra because as soon as somebody finds out that it's a refugee or a foreign national, it's automatically jumped on.
And that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah, Jeremy said it there a minute ago. It's like, I hate that saying, like, if somebody says, oh, look, it's a foreigner killing a foreigner, leave them at it, they're only doing themselves. Well, no, I don't want to see anybody killing anybody, like. Do you know what I mean? The majority of the refugees coming over here are coming over here for a better life. And partly they're coming over here is because Ireland is the land of giving. We'll give before we even think, can we give it? Do we have the resources to give it? No, we don't, but we're going to give it anyway. That's what Ireland is, lads. We're a European puppet. That is it. We have to answer to the European Union. If we don't, we're going to go back out of the European Union. We'll be left with England, or left like England, and we'll be going back to using our punts. The country will go into recession for years, and it'll take us a long time to bounce back. That's why the government are answering to the European Union. That's why they're opening the borders for the refugees, because they have to.
Stay with me for a moment. I want to bring in more opinions on this. Our number is 085 825 2626. If you would like to send us a WhatsApp or a WhatsApp voice note like Jason just did.
Good afternoon, Adrian. Good afternoon, Jeremy. 3 years ago, we had this conversation on your other show, and you told me I was wrong. I was on telling you that this was going to just get worse and worse, that it's a cultural thing. You just had somebody on from, I think he was Irish-Nigerian, who said, no, it's not. Have a look at the statistics coming out of the UK and France now on the amount of stabbings. I think it's 129 a day in France alone, and we all know what England's like. Last year, the year before, in London alone, 130 teenagers, all under the age of 18, were murdered, knifed to death. But the elephant in the room is 90% of them were done by Asian or youngsters from the African continent, and they have stopped doing stop and search in England, and guess what's after happening? The number of stabbings has gone up again. So you tell me, is that correlation or causation? It will be interesting to hear Jeremy's take on this, because Jeremy thinks it's only the Irish that are bad.
They need to cop on.
Okay, stay with me for a second, Angela. Let me bring in Martin.
Afternoon, lads. I thought you might be talking about this today. You want a two-pronged answer? Here it is. It's absolutely both. If that fucker wasn't in the country, that incident wouldn't have happened. And I'm sure it's one of many incidents that happened that maybe get swept under the carpet. That's not the first thing he's ever done. He's clearly a scumbag, and once he's convicted, he should be deported. End of story. And yet, there's not enough cops on the street. Absolutely not. The cops, if they do have, they're too busy at checkpoints and too busy, out with the hairdryer, making sure you're not going 2 kilometres an hour over the speed limit. They need to be tackling serious crime, but they're not.
And Darren has been on to us about Garda vetting.
Oh, Jeremy. This just proves how naive and unaware you are. And if the RTE just tell you what you want to hear. We were told that they were doing vetting and checks, and then it came out and transpired that we were not. So that's the government spreading lies for you. We are not doing any checks on people coming through our borders. That's a fact.
All right, Darren, thanks very much indeed for your message.
Darren,
That's a fact.
You can't say something's a fact without facts to back it up.
Let me bring in another WhatsApp voice note, this time from Trevor.
Adrian, I don't know why you're surprised by the stabbing on Saturday. Before we started importing the world, we didn't have a police force that could govern the Irish. Our fucking police stations have closing times. What the fuck? Now we've imported a couple 100,000 or whatever into the country. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for immigration and people want to come in here, work, do everything legal. Yeah, no problem. But you know what? Some of them just don't fucking want to. Because they come from countries where they have no laws, they do what they want and they can get away with it. And they think that will happen here. Look at England, look at Berlin. Unfortunately, the whole fucking Europe seems to be going a bit fucking loopy at the minute. And you know what? It's happening here. It's only going to get worse. We don't have a police force. We have a joke of a police force. And we don't have the fucking numbers to police these people. We can't even identify half of them when they come into the country. So what the fuck do you want to do about it? You know what I mean? As I said before, lads, want to bring people in, bring them in, do it legally. But at the end of the day, when you have things like this happening, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? These people have no respect for laws. They have no respect for the different culture they're now asked to integrate into, which they don't want to. So, nothing really you can do about it, is it? I don't know why you're surprised by this, Adrian. It's not really going to get any better, is it? What are we going to do? Have a mass recruitment drive for the guards and nobody wants to join because there is nothing there, you know what I mean? There's nothing for the people, no incentives. And then they don't even want to go out at the dangerous times of the day and night into Dublin. Don't blame them. But you know what? Helen McEntee says it's safe, so we should be okay. What a joke. I don't know if you play this, lads. It might be a bit long, but, you know, there you go.